Hello, I'm WBZ TV meteorologist Barry Burbank and have your forecast for the next several days. Let's take a quick look at September since it's almost over, this being the 29th day of the month. Of course, this past week, red squares across the entire week. It was a pretty warm week, that is for sure, and that boosted the mean temperature departure up to plus 3.2, not quite up to the 4.1 that we had in September of 2018. But it certainly was a very warm week, including yesterday's 82 degrees in Boston. Now, I'm not predicting we're going to have red squares this upcoming week, which, of course, we begin October on Tuesday. It looks like the weather's going to be going through some changes as we go through this week. And also going through the changes is the fall foliage changing color. And we'll be watching that fall foliage extrava unfold, and the color wave heads south over the time. But these are some pretty colors and pictures we got recently in the last few days from these various locations at the beautiful Killington, Smuggler's Notch, Bretton Woods at the Presidential Range up there in Sugarloaf, Maine. And it's looking good. In many places, it's vibrant color. Other places haven't quite turned yet. But the general idea is it looks like it's closer to the typical peak foliage times, and that is over the higher elevations of northern New England, western Maine, and northern New Hampshire, and certainly the peaks in Vermont, seeing late September being now into the next few days will be peak color, and the wave will be continuing to head on southward. So that's what we're looking at in terms of precipitation this month of September. It's been very, very dry indeed, and it doesn't look like too much rain is coming up the next couple of days. But we're watching this bank of clouds out over the ocean, which is actually starting to stream inland from the coast. So there may be some patches of clouds along the ocean, north and south shores coming up for this afternoon as we continue to see the air dry out. The dew points are going to be dropping as this dry air plunges southward. Dew point of 37 in Burlington, Vermont as of this recording time this morning, and it's dropped down below 60 when it was in the mid and upper 60s earlier this morning. And that muggier air is being pretty much pushed to the south. The dry air will take over here for a while, but there will be about a 24-hour period when the dew points are going to be climbing again, and they'll start climbing rather quickly on Tuesday afternoon and maxing out later Tuesday night in through at least the first half of Wednesday. And then the drier air takes over all over again. For today, well, the Pats are playing in Buffalo against the Bills, of course. Partly to mostly cloudy sky out there. At kickoff, the temperature is probably going to be around 62 to 64 degrees. The east-northeast breeze will be blowing at 10 miles an hour. At Fenway Park for the last baseball game here at Fenway and the season of 2019, it's going to be comfortable here. Probably low 70s to the upper 60s, falling back a little bit during the course of the game. The north and northeast wind will tame down a little bit, 10 to 15 miles an hour, after being a little bit brisk through midday up to 20 to 25 miles an hour. So the temperature along the coast may fall back to the upper 60s this afternoon. Inland may rise up to 74 in many spots, but that'll do it. It won't get up to the low 80s like we had yesterday. Now, high temperatures tomorrow, look at all these 90s. My goodness, a lot of the nation is sweltering in this heat, and it's starting to push back to the northeast. So we may get a piece of that coming up later on Tuesday and into Wednesday as this frontal boundary moves to the north. It'll be moving to the north thanks to the movement of this storm, which is producing all the accumulating snow in Montana and into southern portions of Canada. That's where they're going to continue to have snow mounting up in favorable upslope locations. There'll be places out here that will get more than 3 feet of snow likely as this storm comes to the east. It'll pull the warm and more humid air back up at us for a brief period of time at midweek. Now, again, other than the patches of low clouds along the coast this afternoon in some locations, otherwise quite sunny weather in most areas, we'll see a period of high cloudiness during tomorrow at times, but a lot of times it'll be thin. A few other patches of little small puffy clouds may develop near eastern Massachusetts. And then we get most of the clouds coming in on Monday night and Tuesday morning. That's when some showers will be crossing the area Tuesday as that warm front approaches. Tonight it gets cold again. Unlike last night when it was a warm night, it's going to be cold like it was a couple of nights ago, falling to the 40s, but lower 50s right along the coast, the South Shore communities, and down toward the Cape. And then your high temperatures tomorrow won't get as high as they will be this afternoon, mostly around 62 at the coast, ranging up to 65 to 68 farther inland. That's tomorrow. On Tuesday, we start out in the lower 50s in the morning, and then we'll have our highest temperatures late in the afternoon and early evening when it could be in the upper 70s and almost 80 northwest of Boston. But there'll be a gusty southwest wind on Tuesday afternoon. That'll keep it in the 60s down toward the Cape. Wednesday morning will start out near 70, upper 60s, a muggy morning. The question is, how hot could it get before cold air starts coming down from Canada? There's a shot that some of these areas right in here, near the Mass Pike and points southward for ways, could get well into the 80s upper 80s there. Boston might not make it because the chilly air may start rolling in from the ocean, and it's going to start plunging southwestward, so during the afternoon it's going to cool off quite a bit in areas which could turn warm for a while. It's coming from this warm front here. There it is. It'll give us the warmth for a while into Wednesday morning. And it's all about this cold front and the timing. If it comes down fast, we never get that spell of hot air on Tuesday. And along that boundary, there'll be spells of rain and drizzle right on into Friday. And in that rain and drizzle, it's going to be chilly. After that, it turns sunnier for Saturday. At least that's the way it looks right now, and kind of on the chilly side. This is a powerful hurricane way out in the Atlantic. Here's Bermuda. Here's the eastern United States. This is Lorenzo. It's a powerful Category 4 hurricane with winds of 155 miles an hour. That's amazing, but it's mainly affecting the shipping lanes. It's way out in the Atlantic. And it looks like eventually it's going to take a track, start accelerating off to the north-northeast, then northeast, making a close pass to the Azores, coming up by late Tuesday, and then making a pass or going right over Ireland by early Friday morning and the rest of the United Kingdom. So they will get a pretty good storm. It will probably not be hurricane strength, but they'll get a pretty good wind and rain situation there. For us, there's that one warm day. Not certain how that's all going to shake out, but some areas could be pretty hot. And I do know that cold air is going to take over after that. We get periods of rain and drizzle and raw wind off the ocean, only in the mid and upper 50s on Thursday and Friday. If all goes well, this pushes out to sea, and the rest of next weekend will be nice and sunny, but it'll be on the cool side. That's your forecast for now. Have a nice week.